Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, all of my beautiful, beautiful friends from the internet. I'm so excited, happy to be back with y'all again today on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. So before we head into the show, welcome to Reddit Asks Us, where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. And before we head into the show, please, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and to subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Pandora, or wherever else you get your lovely audio entertainment, if you could please leave us a rating and a review. The reviews and ratings are coming in all the time on Spotify, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful because that helps grow the show and get the show spread. And that's what we're doing here. We're making the show. So hopefully we want the show to reach people, but it can't reach people without your help. So if you please would just, go to Spotify, wherever you listen, if it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and just slide those stars to wherever you see fit. And I will appreciate that. So thank you all so much for that. So without further ado, why don't we hop in? So we do have a comment that was posted on the YouTube channel, and it wasn't related to last episode, but it was related back to the episode beforehand. So if we go back, this is a comment. So I guess should I explain this? So for all the listeners out there, and for any new listeners, if you want to answer the question yourself, and you wanted me to read off your interpretation of the question or an answer that you might have that piques your mind, please comment that on my YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us, and I will read out your responses on the podcast from the last episode or whatever episode is most relevant or whatever. So we have a comment that's not related to the last episode, but the episode beforehand. What's a deep and dark rabbit hole to research? This one, again, comes from my boy Vortex. I don't have another job, but I have another rabbit hole to explore. The origins of famous horror stories or even just campfire stories. This is an interesting one because I come from a place in Canada called Saskatchewan. And in Saskatchewan, there is a lot of abandoned communities. There's a highway through Saskatchewan that runs right through. I believe it's highway. I don't even want to be mistaken by saying it's Highway 13, but I'm not even joking, my friends. It actually might be called Highway 13, but it's this highway that actually takes you through a bunch of different ghost towns throughout Saskatchewan. There's a bunch, and they're just small little villages, hamlets, towns that have been abandoned. A lot of them since the early 19th or early 20th century. So these are communities that were abandoned throughout the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s, and the 50s even. And I honestly think even all the way up to the 60s, but and even before then. But anyways, yeah, it's interesting to I've never taken the highway before, but I really want to. I think it'd be a fun place to go and do like a photo shoot in the summertime. Sitting at like an old bar with like a drink, a glass of something, and it's like an abandoned bar. I don't know. I think that would be cool. But yeah, the origins of horror stories are interesting. You know what I find interesting, super fascinating, is the origins of fairy tales. Like, I find that to be so interesting because these are stories that have been passed down, because a lot of times fairy tale stories are actually quite grim. Like, even if you think we were in my journalism class, we were going over the story of the Three Little Pigs and how there's the wolf, he comes around. With anyone who's not familiar with the Three Little Pigs, the wolf is trying to attack these three little pigs. So they build houses, one of straw. The wolf blows it down and chases the pig out. So the next pig goes and hangs out with his brother, who builds a house of what was it? It's hay and straw, and then it's, oh my goodness, I don't know why I'm blanking. I think it's wood or something. And the wolf comes and breaks that one down and bulldozes it down with his breath. And then they scurry off to the third pig's house, and that pig lives in a brick house, and the wolf can't get in through him, can't blow it down, so he climbs through the chimney. But the pig's brilliant idea is to boil a scalding hot pot of water in the fireplace, so that when the wolf comes down through the chimney, he falls into this boiling pot of water, gets boiled alive, and dies. They trap him in this boiling, scalding hot pot of water. Now, as far as I know, this is a fable or something. This has been a story that's been told throughout times. I don't know if this is a copyrighted story. But it's interesting how these little stories, like this is a children's story, but it's actually quite graphically vivid and kind of gross. These pigs boil a wolf alive. Boil the wolf alive. So, yeah, all of these famous origin stories, like isn't like Hansel und Gretel, I'm pretty sure that story, that's messed up too. They like bake the witch or something in the oven. Like, I don't know, man. This weird, messed up stuff. But yes, very interesting. So why don't we hop in today's episode? So I want to thank you again, Vortex, and please comment under my YouTube channel if you have something to say about a specific thing or from last episode or from episodes prior. Let's hop right in. This episode today, what do you swear on your life to be 100% true? There were a lot of interesting comments under this one, friends, so let's read through them. We got this one coming from Rockstrongo61. I bowled a 289. A friend that went with me is notorious for making up details. No one believes me. We have a reply from Antifa Super Soaker 69. 288 here. Luckily, it was in a tournament, and I have trophies to prove it. Unluckily, my friends don't give a shit. Bowling is one of those things like, man, if you're like a professional bowler, I don't care how good you are or how much money you make. I feel like it's almost impossible to impress somebody saying that you're a professional bowler. It's like saying you're a professional poker player or something. It's like, is that fun? Do you like it? I don't know what to ask. I'm sorry. I don't know anybody who... I bowl for fun. I bowl because I remember it being something I did as a kid. And it was a super fun time. It was nothing that I really thought of as like a sport or a competitive sport. But it is, man. Who do you think you are? I am. Shout out. Check out that pin action. Please both look up those quotes on YouTube and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Both bowling references. But, you know what's super fun, though, that me and my friends have been playing lately? Wii bowling. I almost got a turkey. But I went off, you guys. I was going off in Wii bowling. I was actually pretty disgusting. 2 strikes in a row. I sipping my tea, friends. But 2 strikes in a row, I was doing pretty good. Pretty good. I think I bowled like a 200 or something close to that. But yeah, I was pretty bussin'. But yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry that no one gives a shit about your. It has to be such a hard thing to brag about. Like, you've like, you know how people like if you go to like, you know, like say if you went to Michael Jordan's house and he's got all of his championship trophies and rings in this special little room and it's all lit up and it looks super dope, and then you go over to professional bowlers and it's just like a bowling ball. Like a trophy with a bowling ball on it. It's like, I don't know, is this dope? Is this cool? Am I supposed to be impressed? It doesn't, and I don't mean to harp on bowling, but it just doesn't seem like one of those things that like, I mean, it must take a lot of skill, but I don't know. But it just doesn't seem like one of those things that really requires a whole lot of skill. Anyways, next one. We've got user Eloquent Dyslexic. Disney made Frozen so that when you Google Disney Frozen, you would get search results about the movie and not about Walt Disney supposedly being cryogenically frozen. Reply from Saint Ajora. Now this is a conspiracy theory I can get behind. Hey man, Disney is doing some high-level things, folks. High-level things. They're making big moves. Yeah, they wanted to hide the fact that Walt Disney cryogenically froze himself so that he could wake in the future and be completely shocked that all of the stuff that he ever created is public domain and anyone can use it. That's what they're doing with Winnie the Pooh, man. They massacred my boy. Oh my God. There's a new, if anyone who doesn't know, look it up. There's supposed to be like a Winnie the Pooh horror movie, like a killer movie where the killers are like Winnie the Pooh or something and Piglet, or they dress up like them. It looks unsettling, to say the least. But, man, I don't understand how somebody could like cryogenically freeze themselves, bro. Like, I don't think that would work. It just doesn't seem to work. Like, you're just freezing yourself. Isn't that just going to cause damage to your body? Like, isn't that not just giving yourself hypothermia and destroying all your nerve cells by freezing them? I don't know, folks. I guess we'll see when Walt Disney, when they unthaw him in, I don't know, 200 years. And we'll see. We'll see if he lived to tell the tale. I'm pretty sure that didn't that guy get like screwed over a lot? Walt Disney, he was like really depressed and stuff. So I hope he does come back. Hope he gets to live the rest of his life. And honestly, though, if Walt Disney came back, I feel like he might be disappointed with the direction that Disney has gone. Disney owns Star Wars now, and it sucks. Like, I wonder if he would just I don't know, kill himself or something when he came back. I know that sounds graphic, but I don't know. What if he was just like, yeah, I should have. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. What is going on here? I can't stand by any of this. Star Wars? Why would we need to buy this? This isn't Disney. I created Bambi. I created Mickey Mouse. Not Anakin Skywalker. We don't need this. And Disney owns Marvel now, too. Like, oh my God. It's a messed up world we live in, folks. I don't know if Disney would be proud to see his, what happened to his creation. Next one comes from BW. It is the kiss of death to change lines at the grocery store. Reply from outside the walls. I go to the same cashier every time. Don't care if she has a line and the next register is empty. She's a sweet old lady. And the 3 minutes of conversation we have while I'm checking out makes my shopping trip more pleasant. Reply from Voice of Reason 81. See, I'm the opposite. Give me the cashier that won't make any eye contact with me and gets me out the door as fast as possible. Sam, is that you? I have a friend, Sam, and that just is something he would exactly say. He hates running into people in places that he has to go. It's like the most awkward thing he can possibly imagine. So, Voice of Reason. That sounds like Sam's, it sounds like a username Sam would have too. And then there's a reply from Colin Adeline. I use the self-checkout to avoid all human interaction. A reply from Cranberry 300. Except when you screw up checking out and the staff need to run over and override the error. That's always fun. Man, you know what I don't understand? It's not even the fact that you'll mess up at the self-checkout counter, but it's that you'll take it, what causes them to come over most of the time is that you accidentally scan something like twice, or you thought you had something and you don't, so then you have to take it off or double of something. But in order to keep checking out, they need to tap their card to make sure or something. They don't even look at your list. Listen, if I wanted to steal something, I would just not scan it. I would just keep it in my bag. It's not like I would scan it and take it off. They don't even come and do any and look over the thing anyways. Stop making it awkward at the self-checkout. I go to the self-checkout to specifically not see anybody. I don't know. How does that prevent people from stealing? It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic to this. Next one comes from 143019. You have to say, this edible ain't shit to fully activate the edible. If my children are really into a box or really into a fruit or snack, the minute I buy a big box of it, they will be sick of it and never eat it again. I thought that was going to be like, if my children are really into an edible, are really into this fruit snack edible, I pack them edibles for school every day. They love it. They can't seem to get enough. They're always like, Daddy, can you pack more of those fun time snacks? You know, the ones that make you feel all nice. You know, they kind of make you zone out and make you really hungry. Can you pack those ones? You know I'm a softie for you. Oh, I guess so. If my hand is being forced, I guess I'll throw them in there. But this is the last time, okay? And their children just grow up with brain damage. But anyways, edit. I can see now that we need some kind of centralized lunchbox snack exchange system. I can trade someone 55 pouches of Welch's fruit gummies, but only for Wegmans red fruit tape, which is evidently the new favorite thing. Man, I'm getting too old for some of these snacks, man. I'm starting to not recognize these snacks. I don't know, I know Welch's, that's the classic, but Wegmans red fruit tape? Whatever happened to the fruit roll-up? Whatever happened to the fruit by the foot? The past creeps up on you faster than you think, my friends. Now they're not even making the snacks they used to make anymore. And they're making all these new ones that I don't even know. It's too bad. Soon enough, I'm not going to recognize a single snack. What has the world come to, my friends? Next one comes from Similar Opposite 708. You can make things foolproof, but the world will make better fools. Reply from Lyrical Holics. Reminds me of a Douglas Adams quote. A common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools. Next one comes from, reply comes from Lamom. The difficulty of designing bear-proof trash cans in a national park is that there is considerable overlap between the intelligence of the smartest bears and the dumbest of the dumbest tourists. Yep, pretty much. People, you know, it's actually fascinating how innovative some really stupid people can be. Because they will make mistakes that you just sit there and you're like, how is this even possible? I mean, I guess you gave us a new problem to fix, and we never knew that this type of the mistake could be capable of some people, but you've seemed to have done it. The human race, you've outdone yourself. You have now created the most innovative people who are just the biggest fools. And that is how we get problems solved in our society. It's like people will get stuck in garbage cans. It's like, why? How? Why did you put your head in there? Well, you know, I thought that like if I threw my head in there, it's only natural that I would kind of see how it's working, see what's going on. It didn't occur to you that you might get stuck and that you probably shouldn't put your head inside of a garbage can? Well, when you put it like that. Yeah, pretty much. Next one comes from Long Jumping Cake 1924. If you're running late, you will be stuck at every possible red light. Oh my God. Why is it that every single time I'm in a rush, I'm normally not in a giant rush when I'm driving. I try to leave places and do things early enough so that I'm not going to have that problem of having the feeling like I'm rushed when I'm driving and making wrong turns and then shaving off all this time when I'm driving and just being white knuckling the fucking steering wheel. But It is, man. It's the impromptu stuff that comes up that you just it literally took me, like, my school is less than 3 kilometers from where I live. And it took me, in my car, 20 minutes the other day to get to school. Because there was so much frickin' construction on the roads, and there's no other roads I can take to get there. 20 minutes to drive 3 kilometers. What are we doing, folks? I was really disappointed because I didn't want to be late for basketball. I always like getting to basketball first because I like to get on the hoop and start shooting before everyone's got there and warm up. But, man, that's true, man. When you're driving someplace and you just... And then when you're relaxed, when you're cool, when you got no worries or anything like that, you cruise through every one of those lights. You never make a single wrong turn. I was in Calgary recently, and I haven't really done a whole lot of driving in Calgary by myself. But I got there nice and early. I had a lot of the day left to go and do what I needed to do and hang out with my friends, and I was cruising through the city. But as soon as I had to go somewhere where I really needed to go, I was panicking. I was hitting every single red light. I had to rush out of my car to get back from some, like I was coming back from something. And I had to get back to my friend's place because we were going out. And as I'm going to my car, I almost get hit by a car. Unbelievable, people. It's like they don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us get to where we want to be. They don't want to see us get to where we want to go. Next one comes from Fake Meme Lord. Sunday does not have 24 hours. Reply from Spaceship ET. And Monday has about 1,000 hours. Jabes Killingworth says, Sunday is more or less ruined by 11 a.m. Shatara Bankhead says, I feel it about 2 p.m. I announced to my husband, oh no, it's time for the Sunday blues. Man, I love having it's Monday right now, actually. I'm recording this episode on Monday, and we have Monday off here in Canada. Well, not in every province. In Nova Scotia, where I'm living, we do, because we are a Commonwealth country of the United Kingdom of England, and our Lord Majesty the Queen has passed away. And because of her passing, there are some provinces in this country that do get today off to mourn for someone we do not know, have no connection with, and is really quite irrelevant in almost every single aspect of our lives, other than the fact that she's on our money. But hey, I'll take the extra day off. But, so that's why Sunday felt like a weekend. Isn't that nice when you get like a Monday off? And Sunday, it's almost like your brain doesn't want to process that. Your brain just wants to go in automatic Monday mode when it's a Sunday, even though you might have the next day off. It's frustrating, man. That's how they beat it into us. They beat into this schedule. School, work, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Yeah, but no, man, I'm chilling today. Even because I got this Monday off, and it makes me feel like, I feel a little scandalous, maybe, a little scandalous that I have this day off. It feels like I shouldn't. It feels like I should be working or doing something important, but I'm not. Except for the podcast, because of course this podcast is one of the most important things in my life. Because you all are some of my favorite people, or my most beautiful people, and my favorite people on the internet. Next one comes from Global Program 437. If your bus is late, spark up a cigarette, and it will instantly arrive. Universal truths, my friends. Universal truths. Just, even if you don't smoke, just start hacking. Just buy a pack of cigarettes for those moments where you need a package of cigarettes. Where you just, I don't smoke, but have you ever been just, having one of those days and you're like, I need a goddamn cigarette. Literally, like, never smoked in my life. Maybe a puff here or there at some party, you know, or some gathering. But for other than those moments, I've never smoked. But goddamn, there are some times where I'm just like, I need a fucking cigarette. Holy shit. But yeah, man, universal truth, man. If you're waiting for the bus to get there, just have that package of cigarettes for those moments you might never know. You might never think you might need it. And then you're just sitting there waiting for the bus. And you're like, you know what, man? Fuck this. I'm going to light up a cigarette. And just, as soon as you light that up, take a couple of, and you hear bus coming right down the street. Isn't that true? Just everything you do that you don't want to be patient or wait for, just start smoking. Honestly, man, just pick up smoking. Pick up smoking. It's my new hobby. I think I'm going to pick up smoking, you know? Just something to do. New hobby. Just want to get into it. You know that's really unhealthy, right? Well, knitting probably gives you carpal tunnel, so... Do you like to write short stories? Then again, carpal tunnel, so... Here's trade-offs, you know? Everyone has their vices, man. Oh, you like to play basketball? Wait till you tear your ACL. Yeah, but the problem is that stuff can be healed. You're going to get cancer. If Walter White can beat cancer, I can beat anything. That guy's invincible. But anyways, yeah. Please don't take up smoking. I'm just joking. Just laughs. Don't take up smoking, folks. Let's see what we've got here. Next one comes from Barnaby Cockoldsniff. Thanks for making me say that out loud. I swear, some of these people have their usernames strictly so that when people will say them out loud and they'll be forced to say them and be like, oh, I can't believe I have to say this. Rocks are soft and squishy. They just tense up when you touch them. The thought of that unsettles me. It makes me feel very uneasy. Could you just imagine you sneak up on a rock and you're just like, gotcha, bitch! And the rock just super squishy, just like squishes in your hand. Like it's like that slime stuff, that silly slime or whatever. And you're just like, ugh. And the rock's all like, God damn it. And then they got to kick him out of the rock community. They got to boot his ass from the rock community. You have been voted out. I'm sorry. And then he just has to dissolve. He has to dissolve away. He's no longer allowed to be a rock anymore. Because he blew his cover, man. I can't believe you. You had that scare a couple months ago and I knew it. I knew it from the start. You weren't cut out for the rock business. You just weren't. No, please, please, please. Please, you have to keep me. I don't know what I'm going to do without this. I'm sorry, but your cover was blown. What happens? We're going to have to kill this guy now. We're going to have to kill this guy. You do realize that, right? What's going to happen when the whole world realizes rocks are squishy? It's going to cause mass hysteria. This is going to be bigger than if they release the fact that JFK was killed by the government. You do realize that, right? You've blown our cover for the last time. Dissolve now. No, please, I swear. I send him to the dissolver. And he just turns into sand or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens to these little rocks. Let's see what else we have here. Next one comes from Opticon 12,000. Time passes quicker the older you get. Do the things right now that you want to do. Don't wait for later. That is very true. I'm like, I love music, man, and I like making music, but it's one of those things that I just like, I always kind of just put off doing, you know, because I'm like, oh, I'm tired of work and all this stuff, but I know that it's like, man, if I really want to, I'm gonna be most creative now, you know, in my younger years, and it's like, man, just I've got this album that I've been picking away at and working on for a long time, but for probably like, I don't know, maybe 6 months, more than that. But and I really want to get it finished. I've produced all the beats. The beats are almost pretty much all made. I just have to write lyrics to the songs and do some finishing stuff on them. But it's like, I got to do it, man. I got to do it. So expect an album from me. Eventually. Reply from What? Your brain reuses pathways to make memories when it can. If you do the same thing every day, then it reuses them rather than forming new pathways and new memories. Reusing an existing pathway makes time feel faster. Forming new ones makes it feel slower. The older you are, the more pathways you have to reuse, the more settled down you are into a routine, the more you reuse the same ones. The more weird and crazy shit you do, the longer your life feels. So go out and do new things, live in new places, try new experiences, and you will live a longer life. Also, adrenaline makes you save memories more vividly. So scare the shit out of yourself whenever you can. So traumatize yourself. Go get stabbed one night. Go to a bad neighborhood sometime. You'll really remember that shit. Come face to face with a serial murderer. You'll always remember that. It's like just advising trauma. Reply from Bettany Braid. This explains why I remember none of 2020. I lived the same week on repeat for months and months on end. Work all day, fret and anxiety all night. Saturday, walk the dog at 11, get back, cook a chicken dinner, stew and anxiety. All Sunday. Repeat. You know, actually, my COVID experience, you know what's funny is something actually low-key traumatic did happen to me during my COVID, during like really like smack dab right in the middle of COVID, like January 2021. The worst of it, man. Before any vaccines had come out. It's winter, minus 35 in Saskatchewan. I'm freezing my ass off, staying at home every single day. But we had a house fire. And I'm going to tell you right now that was adrenaline invoking. Man, you guys should have heard me on the phone. I was I was like, fire and the house is burning. And they're like, slow down. Where do you live? I'm in a house. I'm burning. And you know what's whack though? The police woman. Because I was working on school in the basement when we had our house fire. And I walk upstairs, and I was just wearing a pair of shorts. That's all I was wearing. Like, just no shirt, no pants, no socks, no nothing, just a pair of shorts. And the police woman, when our house was burning, told me, she's like, do you want to go back in and get a coat? And I was like, I probably shouldn't go back inside my burning house. Oh, that was funny. I was like, I don't know. I mean, you're the emergency officer here. Do you really think that that's a great idea? Yeah, but that was funny. But so I actually do kind of remember COVID because of that, we moved into like 3 different apartments. So, I mean, well, not 3. We lived in a hotel for a while. Then we moved to an apartment, and then we moved from that apartment to another apartment. And so moving all that time, actually, I do remember a lot of what that time was like. But don't get me wrong, COVID still sucked. That shit was whack. But that was like the number one thing was everyone felt, I remember seeing on Reddit and stuff when I was on Reddit, and people always talking about COVID and how it's affected their lives, but they're like, man, every day feels the same. Like, it feels like I can't have any variety in my life. It just feels like all one big blur. But that in the moment, it feels terrible because you're just like, it's just constant, the same thing every day. But, you know, when you look back on it, it's like, I don't even remember COVID at all. But anyways, we have another reply here from Mikey Rides a Bikey. When you're 5 years old, a year is 20% of your life. When you're 10 years old, a year is 10% of your life. When you're 20 years old, a year is 5% of your life. When you're 50 years old, a year is 2% of your life. Reply from Get Buckets 13182. Ball up, bro. Come on. You're a hooper, obviously. Come on, 1v1 me, bro. DM me after this. Yep. when you're 5 and someone tells you, oh, good thing is coming in 2 weeks, and those 2 weeks feel like forever. Now if someone tells me something is in 2 weeks, it's here before I even realize it. Yeah, that's true. We went on a really fun trip to PEI, me and all my friends recently. And I was looking forward to it all summer, and it just happened like so quick. And it's so, I mean, excuse me. I feel like I've learned to just live in the moment, and if something is passing by very, very fast, then just accept it and not try to force it to go slower, because when you do that, it just makes things weird and awkward, and you feel desperate, and it just makes you feel worse about yourself, because then you just are focused so much about how fast this time is passing, and then you don't end up actually having fun because you're trying to figure out ways to make it go slower, and you don't live in the moment. So I guess live in the moment some more. But yeah, man, I remember my parents telling me when I was a kid, oh, we're going to Disneyland or something like that, and I'd be like, oh my God, I have to wait till February. And every day at school, I'd be like thinking about going to Legoland. Legoland was really the place I wanted to go. And it just seemed like it never came until it did. And though that experience felt long, I can tell you, I look back on those experiences with much fondness. It did feel like I was there for a long time, even though we were only there for like we were in wherever it was, Los Angeles, for like a week. But that time did pass by slow, and I'm glad it did. So let's see, maybe read off one last one. This one comes from Katrina Mystery. The way people drive and the way they use a shopping trolley are directly linked. A shopping trolley. Reply from Digital Akita. I swear by this. And also how they walk down the street. I'm convinced people who go sideways or stop in the middle of a sidewalk without looking around do the same when driving. Oh my God. This is, what the most annoying thing is too? At our grocery store, like here in Halifax, the one that is by my apartment, it's so annoying because every cart they have, one of the wheels isn't like properly, I don't even know. It makes it like every wheel, every succession of a wheel. So it goes jugu because the one wheel just I don't know. It's not polished like the other ones are. It's on every single cart. It's there on purpose. I don't understand why. Why is it like this? Why are you making me the loudest person in the grocery store? Especially because some of them, like, there's a select few that are much louder than the other ones. And then you have to walk really slow through the grocery store so that you're not that guy who's like, as you're walking through the grocery store. It's so embarrassing. Change that, please. But anyways, okay, let's wrap it up for today. So I want to thank every single one of my beautiful, beautiful listeners for listening to the show. Remember, this is Reddit Asks Us, where we read and react to comments from r/AskReddit. I am your host, Luke Dick. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Remember to leave us a rating, please, on YouTube and or Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you all get your podcasts. And remember that if you want to hear your take on your comment read out loud on the show, go to my YouTube channel at Reddit Asks Us and comment underneath, and we will answer those questions on the next episode of the Reddit Asks Us show here. So without further ado, I will be signing off, my friends. I want to thank every single one of you beautiful people for tuning in. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Peace out.